Dear students, today let us learn the judicial system of our country. In this chapter, Judicial System, you learn the structure and functions of Supreme Court of India, the structure and functions of High Court, Subordinate Court and Revenue Court. In India, we have a common judicial system for entire country. Countries like USA, they have a different judicial system where there are separate court for the central and the state. Our judiciary is independent of the guidance of legislature and executive. The high courts, subordinate courts and district courts function under the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the highest court of law in our country. Its judgment is final. Now, let us learn the functions of Supreme Court of our country. The Supreme Court of our country came into existence by an Act of Parliament on January 28, 1950. It is located in New Delhi. The President of our country appoints the Chief Justice and other judges of Supreme Court. The qualifications of Supreme Court judge should be a citizen of India, should have served as a High Court judge for at least 5 years, or should have been an advocate of the High Court for at least 10 years, or should be distinguished jurist as per the President's opinion. The age of retirement of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is 65 years. However, they can resign earlier. If the judges are found guilty while discharging their duties, they can be removed from the office by the President on the recommendation from both the houses with a specified majority. After their resignation or retirement, the judges cannot practice before any court. Their wages and allowances are decided by an Act of Parliament. Functions and powers of Supreme Court. Original powers. The original powers of Supreme Court are resolving the disputes between the Union and state and between the states, safeguarding the fundamental rights of citizens, interpreting the provisions of the Constitution and passing on writs. Appellate powers. Citizens may file cases in the Supreme Court against the judgments given in the lower courts. The Supreme Court may accept such appeals and issue judgments in these matters. It may also give special directions citizens to file such appeals. Advisory powers. The Supreme Court may advise the President when the President seeks the opinion of a Supreme Court on important public issues. The President may consult the Supreme Court for advice on matters related to agreements and contracts entered by the government formed before the implementation of this Constitution. In addition to these functions, The Supreme Court serves as a court of records, chief advisor to the central and state, and has the power to issue special writs. High Court. The Constitution provides for a High Court in every state. Sometimes there is one High Court for two or more states. The High Court consists of the Chief Justice and other judges. The number of judges varies from state to state. The British established three High Court in India for the first time in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras in 1862. The Mysore High Court was established in 1884. It was renamed as Karnataka High Court in 1973. The qualifications of a High Court judge should be a citizen of India, should have served as a judiciary officer in any judicial office or worked as an advocate of the High Court for 10 years, should be a distinguished jurist as per the opinion of the President. The age of retirement of High Court judges is 62 years. However, they can resign earlier. If the judges are found guilty while discharging their duties, they can be removed from the office by the President, supported by a specified majority vote of both the Houses of Parliament. Functions of the High Court. The High Court has power over the whole state. Their functions are the original powers to resolve civil and criminal cases, naval, marital and contempt of court cases, to admit appeals against the judgment passed by the subordinate court in the civil and criminal cases, to direct transfer of cases from the lower court to High Court, to supervise the working of the subordinate courts, to admit writ petitions, to safeguard the fundamental rights and other legal rights of citizens, to appoint the staff and regulating them. Subordinate courts. The conference of the court that was held in 1948 urged for independence to subordinate courts. As a result, specifications about the structure and scope of the subordinate courts have been included in the Constitution. Though subordinate courts differ from state to state, their main features remain the same. Subordinate courts have been classified into two kinds. They are civil courts and criminal courts. Now let us learn about civil court. Every district has a civil court, and a district judge is its chief judge. The governor appoints district judge in consulting with the judges of High Court. The district judge should have served as an advocate in any court of the state for a period of 7 years. The other judges are selected through a competitive examination. Civil courts settle disputes related to civil matters like property, land, monetary transactions, marriage, divorce and others. They also hear appeals from lower courts. The district judge exercise control over all the civil courts in the district. There are subordinate courts under district courts. They are Court of Subordinate Judges, Court of Additional Subordinate Judges, Court of Munsif, Court of Additional Munsif. Criminal courts. In India, criminal courts came into existence on 1st April 1974. They are known as District Magistrate Court. This court functions under the High Court. The highest criminal court at the district level is Sessions Court. The district judge performs the functions of a judge of this court. Criminal court takes up crimes like murder, robbery, dacoity, etc. This court has the powers to issue death sentences and life imprisonment. However, such sentences will have to be ratified by the High Court. Similarly, an appeal may be made to the High Court against the judgment given by the criminal court. There are other criminal courts functioning under criminal courts. They are Chief Magistrate Court. This court does not have the powers to pass death sentences or life imprisonment. However, it can impose 7 years punishment. First grade Magistrate Court. This court has greater powers and can impose punishment up to 3 years or fine up to 5,000 or impose both. Moreover, it can admit appeals against judgments from lower magisterial court. Second grade Magistrate Court. This court has the power to impose punishment up to 2 years or a fine of 1,000 rupees or both of these punishment together. Third grade Magistrate Court. This court has the power only to impose 1 month's imprisonment or fine of 50 rupees or both. Neither the second class nor the third class magisterial court can admit appeals against judgments of any other court. Both the district and the sessions court are one and same, with the same judge passing the judgment in both of these cases. When the court takes up a civil matter, it is called district court, and when it takes up a criminal matters, it is called session court. Revenue courts. There are revenue courts in every district. They takes up cases related to the land tax, land records, etc. Revenue court consists the courts like Tahsildar court. The Tahsildar court is the lowest court among the revenue courts, and the Tahsildar is its judge. This court is also known as Taluk Magistrate Court. District Subdivisional Officers Court. The Assistant Commissioner is the judge of District Subdivisional Officers Court. This court takes up appeals against the decisions and judgments of Tahsildar Court, District Revenue Court or District Magistrate Court. This court exists in every district. It takes up appeals against the judgments given by Tahsildar Court, District Subdivisional Officers Court. The Deputy Commissioner is its judge. Commissioner's Court. This court takes up appeals against judgments of the District Magistrate Court. The divisional officer is its judge. Revenue Board. Revenue Board is the highest court dealing with revenue cases. Revenue Court has the power to take up appeals against the judgments of the lower revenue courts. The Revenue Secretary is the head of Revenue Board. This court functions under the supervision of the High Court. People's Court or Lok Adalat. In India, the legal procedure is time consuming and expensive. As an alternative, the government has set up other forms of legal institutions which function faster and are less expensive. These institutions came into existence in 1985. One of them is called Lok Adalat. It takes up cases from parties who mutually agrees to settle the cases amicably. Some judges of the Supreme Court, social workers and young law graduates are the founding members of this court. It has three features. It lays stress on compromise. It is fast and cheap. It reduces the judicial burden on other courts. Lok Adalats take up cases relating to vehicle accident, land possession, banking, marriage and alimony, labor's problems, etc. The judgments given by the Lok Adalat are final and binding on both the parties. The appeals cannot be filed against them. These judgments enjoy the same respect that judgments of civil court do.